Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Comfy Cozy's very first book discussion.
Woo!
So excited. Oh my gosh. And I couldn't even be more excited to have these two lovely people next to me because if you don't know who they are, I'm going to let them introduce themselves in just a second. But tonight, we're going to be discussing The Secret Book and Scone Society by Ellery Adams. If you have not read this book, I love you so much, but I need you to get out, okay? Because we will be discussing spoilers. And this is not the video for you if you've not read this book, okay? I love you so much. So, my lovely co-host, would you kindly introduce yourselves, please?
Hello. My name is Keisha. I'm from the channel A Book Like You. I'm also over on Instagram under the same handle. I love cozy books, cozy mysteries. If you hear crinkling in the background, my dog thought that when I yelled, she wanted me to play with her. So I'm sorry. Go over there. But yeah, I love that this is like a cozy book club. I love that you started this because I love cozy books. I love cozy mysteries, all the things. So I'm so happy to be here and to cheerlead you on and participate in all the things. So
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I am Yvette, and I'm over on Instagram as Levers Adores. I'm very excited for the book as well. I like cozies, maybe not as much as Hannah because she has an entire bookshelf for it. Not a not just a shelf, a book.
It wasn't even supposed to be that. That's the problem.
we love that it is.
Love it. So I
But
do like them though, and they're a lot of fun. I've been every single time, like this one, I gave to my mom to read, so she was enjoying it along the way. I love being able to kind of give books to my mom or my sister or whatever, and so she read it and really liked it as well. So yeah,
nice.
really excited to be part of the inaugural Comfy Cozy.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay. If anybody is new here, my name is Hannah from the Teachers TBR, and I am the host of Comfy Cozy Book Club. We are a bi-monthly book club, so we will not have a book next month, and then in September we'll have another book. But if you read the book and you are here, go ahead and leave a fox emoji so that I know everybody in the chat did read it, and we don't have any like lurkers around that are trying to be spoiled for this book. But do not tell us your star rating yet. I kind of want to leave that till the end, which is totally fine. If you do, because I see some of us are sharing that, but that's okay. Don't try not to share it yet. Okay? So, let's go ahead and see who is here first, and then we'll get started with the discussion. It looks like, and I'm sorry that we were a little bit late. We wanted everybody to be here, and Yvette had like an emergency with her car, and so we were not going to start this party without the trio, okay? So we had to have all three of us. So Gwen is here. Hi, Gwen. Didn't read the book, but I'm here for support. Oh, thank you. Okay, Keisha will definitely convince you to read this book. I'm just going to let you know. Gwen, I think you would really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Cassie. Going to eat with a fan, but I'm here, I promise. You go enjoy your family time. You could always watch it back. Hello, April. Hello. Hi, Jules. Hi, Jennifer. Hello, Troy. Hi, Maggie. I didn't end up rereading it until I got. Oh, that's okay. That's totally fine. You still read it once, so you at least have a good idea of what it is. Still excited to hear everyone's thoughts, even though it's been a couple of years since I read it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Hello, Paige. Hi, Rachel. Going to participate as much as possible, but my little ones aren't in bed yet. It's okay. Totally fine. Hello, Hannah. Enjoyed reading this book. I'm so grateful. Oh, you stop that right now. That's so sweet. Hello. Running late, so glad I didn't miss anything. Hey, we're all running late tonight. It's okay.
For sure.
Oh, thank you. It's kind of like a coral color, too. I like it, too. Hello, Shelly. I thought this was at 5 my time, still at work. 5 your time? Oh my gosh. Oh, there's Shelley's rating. Okay, all of us read the book. Hi, Sam. Hi, Jennifer. Oh my gosh, look at all those foxes. Oh my gosh. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Stephanie. Hello. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll join if I snag the book from my library. I'll try to. Okay. I will probably start with spoilers pretty close to the beginning, so I would just be aware of that.
Who done it?
Hello. Okay. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited. Okay. So I'm so excited that we're all here and we're all ready to discuss it. So let's go ahead and just start with the first question. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Maybe.
What are your general thoughts of this book? So I wouldn't say let's not go into spoilers yet. And let's try not to sway one way or the other. What were your general thoughts about this book? Were your opinions? Were you scared going into this book? How did you feel about the characters? Anything you wanted to say in general about this book?
Yvette, you start.
Okay. I'll start with, you were saying if there was anything, stop it, Cleo. If there was anything I was like general feelings before, like, and I think for me, I am very quiet. I don't go on Discord too much. So I was like, oh, like I had no idea what was going on. And then some people are like, oh, it's not so cozy and everything. So,
yeah.
But for me, I at least found that there were very cozy elements for me, like just like the groups in there, the just level of embracing in the book. So
the found family.
Yeah, I love found family. It's my favorite. So even though it wasn't like cozy, it's still small town, had food. I feel like food always makes me feel cozy. So it had a lot of them for me. So even though it wasn't like formulaic cozy, I still thought it was a little bit. But I was kind of glad that somebody said I didn't find it so cozy, because when I went into it, I was like, okay, just know it's more of a mystery than that.
Yeah.
And so wasn't disappointed at all. And then just really had fun time with the characters. And like I said, I love women, not just found family. I just love women relationships in books.
Yeah.
Like I read a romance once, and it was way less about the guy and the girl than like the girl and a friend. And I just loved the book, even though it was like less romance and it was more about their friendship. And I was like, I love this. And so I love women, embracing each other and everything, and being like a group. So I enjoyed it, had fun. And it was a very fast read. I read it, I think, in like 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah. Awesome. I have very obviously similar thoughts. I was a little nervous going into it. I have actually owned this book for a couple years now. It's been on my shelves, and for whatever reason, I haven't picked it up yet. And I think one of the initial reasons why I hadn't yet was because it sounded very similar to one of my favorite cozies, which was Crime and Poetry by Amanda Flower. So I was a little nervous that I would compare the two, but I do feel like they're very different. Yeah. And like Yvette said, I don't think this is as cozy. While it does have some cozy elements, it's more like a cozy with some grit. So I think it just depends on how you view a cozy or a mystery, because there are some books that I feel like ride that fine line of this is a cozy mystery versus this is a straight, just general mystery. But one thing that I think was really notable about this book is that I went into it expecting that I was going to enjoy the ride of the mystery. But what I found is that so much more important to me in this book was the found family, but the way that it was about the characters. It was about these women and what they had gone through, the fire that they had walked through, and how they had been scarred and damaged and broken, but they were, trying to find healing in this space in Miracle Springs, and how they all came together to, share things and all that. Like, so I think that while I went into this expecting more of that like cozy murder mystery element, and there still was that there, what really was the whole of this book and the meat of this book was those ladies and their relationships. And so I found that to be very surprising and enjoyed that. So.
Oh, I love that. I love it because I feel like a lot of us went into this, and even I, when I picked it, I even classified as a cozy mystery because that's what it's marketed as. And I feel like a lot of us went into this with a certain expectation that we go into with cozy mysteries. And we were like, whoa, like right off the bat, it was definitely harder, deeper, darker than any other cozy mystery. And I feel like this is one of those books that you cannot read surface level. It's got to be deeper than that. So those are my general thoughts. I just think I was worried about it. I was really worried about it going into it because everybody was like talking about how it's not cozy and talking about how like there's sexual content in it, which we'll get to in a second. But I was really worried about it. And I'm so glad that I went into it with a very open mind and I didn't let others' opinions sway me because I feel like I would have not enjoyed this book if I had done that. So, okay.
Did I disappear? Because it's showing I'm black on my screen.
You're a little frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen sideways.
I'm frozen sideways. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful side.
It's a profile shot.
It's beautiful.
It's just black on my side. Okay.
While you come back to life, I'm going to see how everybody else liked the book. Rachel said, I really liked it, but it was not exactly cozy, so I had to adjust my expectations. Lots of good quotes, and I did like the mystery. I agree. The quotes in this book were so good. Were so good. I tabbed the absolute heck out of it, which is not
surprising for you. I don't know if I trust your tabbing system. I feel like you should have everything. But it looks beautiful.
I really do. And Jordan was like, I don't know if I know anybody that ever tabs as much as you. And I'm like, well, this is just how I feel. Like, I feel very.
But I love that for you.
So I did tab a lot of quotes in here, which we'll talk about in a second too. And Yvette is left the chat, so I'm not sure where she went.
Probably trying to adjust it.
She'll pop back in a minute. I enjoyed it, especially all the book references. Yes, there were a lot of book references that were really good. Welcome back. I'm sorry. The comments are coming.
Don't know what's happening.
General thoughts. It was a little darker than usual cozy, which I was surprised, but not upset about. I like that. However, I felt the mystery was lackluster and the relationships felt forced. I think you had said that in Discord. And I feel like a lot of people also feel that way.
I can see how the mystery kind of took a backseat to other things, but I ended up not minding that so much.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you were expecting the mystery to be like in the front. I feel like that might have been a little jarring, but
yeah.
I love that they brought in the aspect that sometimes you have to choose to trust someone. Yes, it doesn't always just come naturally. 100%. Grandma Susan! Am I echoing? Is it me?
No.
Every now and then, but it's not bad.
I think it's when I get loud.
You're good.
You just keep it under control. I thought it went much deeper into emotional connections. Absolutely. I really liked the emotional appeal to this book.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the book and the mystery behind the character story that unfolded little by little. I want more of Jebediah.
Yes, Jebediah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him in a second.
I loved it.
Oh, not nervous at all. I owned it for so long. Thank you, Lauren. I think that is who shared the wreck. I had not heard, because her and Caitlin both had read this book, and I had not heard their opinions on it. And I think Keisha had said that Caitlin really loved it.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, because we have similar taste. And I felt a little bit better after I heard that. Enjoyed it, but it wasn't a favorite. I could have done without a few things in the book, but I love the friendship and how the women were truly together. I do think that there was a couple things that were kind of off the wall. I was like, why did we put that in there? But
yeah.
Yes. Hester bakes scones. Oh my gosh. And like the story behind how she became a baker and how she started baking scones.
Yeah. I wanted the book cookies at the end or something. Where she's like, and she fashioned them into cookies. I was like, what? I need it.
It made me want to eat and bake scones and drink coffee. So that definitely goes under cozy.
Uh-huh.
I agree. I was worried going in. Some people were DNFing in Discord. I went into with low expectations. So did I, Betsy. And I love it.
I feel like that helps so much sometimes.
What goes?
Yeah,
like,
it levels your expectations.
Yeah.
So like then you can only be exceeding them.
Yeah.
You know.
And I'm so glad that this one didn't let me down. I know it let a lot of people down, but it didn't let me down.
Mm-hmm.
My only gripe, I'm sure you all know, is the long chapters. I do agree the chapters were kind of long.
I listened to it and I didn't really notice it, you know. Ooh, I'm like hiding here.
I feel like it read fast enough that it didn't bother me too much.
Yeah, I think that some books do drag on. Like, why didn't you just end this with a chapter? But
yeah,
I personally didn't feel like that.
Yeah, I feel like with audios, you notice it a little bit less than when you're reading a book and you're just like, I just want to be able to get to the next chapter.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Was surprised by the book. The not so cozy is not an issue for me. Good mystery, found family, forgiveness, standing up for yourself, looking past someone's flaws, and embracing them. Yes. Too dark for cozy, too surface for straight up mystery. I think that left it floating for me, sadly. Gotcha. I loved the magical realism of Scone Shop and her being able to make the perfect scones for each person.
Yeah.
Yes. Crime and poetry, but these women rocked.
Keisha, I love your shirt.
Steve.
I just saw who it is.
Babysitter. I need that season so bad.
I love that.
We're really we're getting closer.
We're
getting closer.
I love Steve. All right, sorry. I just saw.
No, I will stop the show for any time for Steve Harrington.
Steve, my favorite. Mr. Steal Your Kids.
Even though I am an Eddie Munson fan, personally, that's just me.
Oh, for sure. But
I do love Steve.
With the hair, less so without the hair. Yeah.
I love found family, but I thought the relationships. Yeah.
And maybe it will be like, I'm kind of excited for the next books because they've gone through all this explanation and everything, and they've got their backstories, and so I feel like they can really build on that and just like how their relationships grow.
And that might help with this too.
Yeah.
Like, that it doesn't feel so cramped in one book. Setting.
I'm glad that they weren't just like, and then read the next book to hear what Nora's story was. I would have been really mad.
But there's like multiple books in the series. I think there's like 7.
Oh, 7?
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think she has one coming out soon.
Oh, okay.
Too.
I'm hoping it just keeps getting better. Which we'll talk about, like, if we're going to continue to in the series. I love the group of ladies and the emotional depth of it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree about seeing
how different they were. Like, that was what I really liked, was it wasn't just like very similar people. It was very, I don't know, I felt very different personalities that were brought together.
Well, it wasn't cookie cutter. It wasn't like this pretty, perfect little baker that just has.
And that's real life. Like, real life has grit. Real life doesn't have the perfect characters. Like, you have people who are a little rough around the edges, and you have people who are like the way they are for a reason because they have a past. And like,
100%. I agree about seeing all the DNFs. I almost didn't bother picking it up, and I'm so glad I did. Yes. This is a reason. This is like the number one reason of why we shouldn't allow people's opinions to always like overcompass our reading. Like you can take that into account, but don't let it rule our reading. Also, with the bookshop where she could pick out a bunch of books and that person wasn't looking for it and she knew they needed them. That was the sweetest part. I loved that part. The relationship in each character's roads to redemption and potential's road to redemption. Yes. I'm glad I went into this book with an open mind. I loved this book. Hello, Rebecca. The found family, broken women, healing and embracing each other. Yes. Strong female friendships. Yes. So many good quotes. Bye, Gwen. Thanks for being here and emotional support. I really appreciate it. Yes, I go to town with tapping. I thought it was just okay. It felt like it took me forever to read. Understandable. I liked it, but I went in when I think it was a cozy. If I hadn't, I think I would have liked it better. Yeah, and I do think it kind of helped too that we weren't the first people to read it, because I feel like we would have been in that same boat. Like, this is not a cozy. I don't think it would have tainted my experience personally, but I understand that it does. Loved the quote, enjoyed women coming together and learning to trust each other and find a safe space to share their journeys. Absolutely. Definitely more than a cozy. The relationship with the women made more, and the mystery wasn't exactly mystery. You kind of know who's involved, but the ending was a big surprise. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. I can't not mention this. My favorite thing was when Tolkien thinks, yeah.
I thought you'd like that. Yeah, I really liked that part too, where like he said it and I was like, I know what that's for.
Hi, Cheryl. Really enjoyed the book. Yes, and the Harry Potter references. Oh my gosh. Yes. You've got male vibes at the bookstore and her knowing what book you needed to read. Which we'll also talk about this in a second. It read more like women's fiction. I agree 100%. I feel like it was like a cozy-ish women's fiction with a little bit of darkness to it.
Yeah.
A little bit of rigidness. Yes, I love it. Okay, so those are our general thoughts. So let's go ahead and get into the tea. Who is your favorite character and why? Least favorite character and why? Anybody, take it away.
I think, okay, so I know this may be an unpopular opinion, and I almost think it's because of going against the grain for me. But I do really feel like Estella was such a good character. She was, like, in spite of her promiscuity and in spite of, like, the way that she was portrayed a lot in the book, she was still very endearing, and I found her very interesting to follow. And I think that, like, I'm not saying that I agree with her actions and I agree with her methods of how she goes about, trying to get answers from people or how she lives her life. But, like, when you hear her story, you kind of understand what makes her who she is. And that's not to say there can't be character growth with her, and I hope that there is. But I found her to be really interesting to follow. And obviously, like, I really love Nora too, but I just feel like I was focused on Estella because I was worried that I wasn't going to like her. And because I was so focused on her, I ended up really enjoying her character. So she was probably my favorite. And then obviously Sheriff Toad was my least favorite. And I am so glad that. Can we talk spoilers?
Yep, we are
I'm
in
so glad that we don't have to see him no more, hopefully, because he's put. That was what I was hoping for. I was like, she cannot keep this man in the following series. And I hope, like, he stays in jail, he stays away, and that we get a new, because I just, it's hard to read about characters like that. Like, he's so misogynistic, and he was so just like, ugh. So I'm glad he got put away, and I hope that he stays away.
My two favorites were Estella, because I just, again, found her the most interesting. I always thought she always made me laugh, and I just thought she was so fiery and everything, so I really liked her. And then the next is Jedediah, because we love him. And then my least favorite, also spoiler one, is Bob, which just made me so sad. Because I'm pretty sure we're like, when we were I was thinking about it, I was like trying to look back on our conversations, but I think it was in the live, and we were just like, Bob, we love Bob. And so now, least favorite character.
That was the first thing that when I read that, I was like, we literally was just talking about how good this guy was.
We love Bob. And I casted him, but when I first started reading him, he was what's his name? From Stranger Things. He was the love interest that she had.
I think his name was Bob.
Is his name Bob in it too?
Yeah, of Joyce.
Of Joyce, yeah. In the
That
second season.
guy that doesn't. Never mind. I can't say
the
that.
guy in the second season.
His name was Bob.
So
Yeah.
at the beginning, when I
think
loved Bob, that's who he was. But then by then he got recasted. But
Yeah. But I feel like he did try, like at the end, he did try to like, I mean, you see why he did what he did. You know, I'm
yeah,
not saying it was justifiable, but like,
I'll talk
I
about
still
that.
take him over Sheriff Toad, you know?
No, I don't like somebody who tries to say their actions, their terrible actions, justify them. I'm like, no.
I agree. I think you're too far gone at that point because there's really not much else you can say.
Redeeming. I was like, no.
With the USB though, that's what I was talking about. The USB thing that he does at the end,
Yeah.
I did think it redeemed his character just a little bit.
Yeah.
For me, but not 100%.
I mean, Sheriff Toe was misogynistic, but he didn't kill people, so you know.
Well, I mean, he was an accomplice too.
And I think Bob was pretty misogynistic, thinking that just because somebody didn't love him, he's gonna, lock him up. Like, oh,
that's true too.
Hey,
He's
sometimes
a
the worst
great
people
reason.
are the puppeteers, though. I'm just saying, like, there's
Yeah.
people that you never see them do anything bad, but they get other people to do their dirty work for them. So
Yeah.
that's why I was like,
Yeah.
My favorite was Hester. I just loved
I
Hester
liked her
so
a lot.
much because you know who Hester reminds me of, and we'll talk about this in a second too. She reminds me of Suki from Gilmore Girls, and I just love Suki. Like I feel like Suki is my favorite character of Gilmore Girls, and I just love her so much.
Yeah.
And then her story again with the scone of why she started baking scones that just hit real deep for me. And then my least favorite character is Toad. Didn't like him. Did not like Sheriff Toad whatsoever. I feel like he was another. I feel like Ellery Adams put him in there because we were supposed to hate him.
Yeah.
Like I feel like from the beginning she told us, "You need to hate this guy because
You're
he's gonna
not gonna like him."
So I feel like that was intentional on her part, but at the same time, he was also another reason why a lot of people couldn't continue in the book is because of the misogynistic comments that he made, which again, I can completely, especially if you've been through some things, I can see that being okay, I'm done. So I get it. Estella is my fave. I love it. Hester is my next. Estella, because she reminded me of Blanche from Golden Girls.
I love that.
yes, I love that.
I liked Estella too. Oh my gosh, you guys liked Estella. I love it. At the beginning, I didn't love her. Estella was definitely a dominant character. I don't think I had a favorite character. Maybe the nice cop. Who was the nice cop?
Anders?
Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe
the one who liked
Deputy Anders.
Yeah.
I think so.
And I have a feeling that they're gonna get together in the next books.
They've been on a date. So.
I wish we got to meet Jed's dog because I probably would like him. Estella, I think she learned to trust because she didn't have girlfriends.
I was also thinking there was no like little cozy animal in this book, really.
There really wasn't.
Because I was like, oh, like cozy raven, cozy cat, cozy dog, like nothing.
Least favorite was the sheriff and Colin. Yes, I didn't like Colin either.
Yeah, Colin is horrible.
Nora and then the caregiver, June.
I do like June a lot.
I did like June. Trust the most. My least was all the men, but Jed. Jed is he's the golden girl of the hour.
Yeah.
I totally thought Golden Girls sleuths reading it, which I loved. I loved it. I liked Hester. I wanted to see what happens with June in her future storyline. Yes. Nora, because I too believe that books can be healing, which we'll talk about in a second. We're going to get into all that, I promise. Favorite, Jebediah, because least favorite, the sheriff. Agreed, April. Loved Hester. Enjoyed each of the ladies in different ways, but Hester is my favorite. Sheriff Toad was my least favorite. And Bob made my jaw drop. He so disappointed me.
No.
disappointed. Professor.
Mhm.
Sheriff is like,
This is what I thought too when I was trying to like cast him. I was like, well, I can't really cast him as Umbridge.
I don't know if anybody's as bad as that woman though. That woman makes my blood pressure go up like skyrocket.
should I know what that is?
Umbridge is in Harry Potter, the 5th book.
Have you made it to what book are you on?
Yeah.
Goblet of Fire.
Oh God, the next book you'll meet her. Oh
yeah, she wears
I'll
all
not say
pink.
much, but
she's the one that I put in my video that was like, and you were unsuccessful.
Oh yeah. Professor Snape.
She is awful. Like she is my most hated character ever. Like I have a hard time watching her parts in the movie because like I can't handle it. Like my body just wants to punch the TV. It's like for real. She's awful.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. Loves Nora. She was a good main character.
Yeah, she was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I loved her.
The shelf enhancers.
Okay, question number 3. Let's talk about Estella. Let's talk about that whole chapter 6 and why do we think Ellery Adams put that in there? And we kind of talked about why, if we liked Estella or not, but I do know that there's some people that have a differing opinion about Estella. So if you have a differing opinion about Estella, please feel free to, this is open discussion, okay? So if you have opinions, let them be known. Your opinion is safe here. So let's talk about Estella, because we kind of talked about our likes and dislikes, but what was your initial thoughts of Estella?
Yeah, I think when she was first introduced, I definitely didn't get a vision of her. She felt like older, kind of busybody, and it was really funny reading her. I was like, oh, she's young, redhead, and works at a beauty salon, and so I definitely had a different vision, like the one said, Blanche, something like that, somebody more busybody and everything. So I didn't like her at first. I didn't dislike her, but I don't like busybodies. And so when she was kind of popping in and everything, I was like, what do you need? What, go away. And so didn't but she grew right away. Chapter 6 didn't bother me too much. Didn't love it. It was kind of, it went a little too far for me. I was like, where it wasn't necessary to, completely disrobe and all that stuff. And I was just like, I get being a little promiscuous and going, but going all the way just to get some information, that was like, oh my gosh. So, clutch my pearls. So nothing luckily happened, but I was just like, wow, this, I feel like if I was her friends and everything, I'd be like, no, we're gonna pop in here and just be like if I was June or something, I'd just be going in, oh, the place is closed, sorry, you can't be here anymore. Even if she said she was fine, I would be like, no, not in my premises. So it was a little bit more than I think was necessary. I liked her background and stuff, but again, I thought it wasn't as needed to go as far as it was written.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, we can't get in Ellery Adams' head and wonder why she had to include the depth that she did. And that, I will say, I did, after people were talking about it, I did expect more than what I got. So I think that didn't jar me as much because I didn't know what I was getting into. But it was, and I do think most of it was, it was confined to chapter 6, and then it just moved away from it.
Yeah.
But I don't really know why she felt the need to put her in that way, except other than just that she created that character. That was part of her backstory. That's part of how she is as a person. She was very comfortable to present herself that way because of her scars. That's just how she functioned. So I don't know. I feel like it was fitting for her character to be that way, but why did she include a character like that in her book. I don't know, but it definitely did take you out of that cozy element and put you more into a darker storyline, especially with how he reacted to her when she was denying him what he wanted. That was like, I think we were kind of riding a fine line of this is, you're on the fence, and if you jump on this side, you're in SA territory, with that. But she cut it off before it got too far. But yeah, I just think it was interesting that she included a character like that in a book that is presented as a cozy mystery. It was definitely interesting, but again, I think that at the end of the day, and you guys probably know this about me, like I don't love to read stuff that is like that, but for me, because it was so much about the characters and like, I don't know, it didn't bother me like I thought it was going to. Would I have preferred it not been in there? Yes. Like, did it make the story not as perfect for me? Yes. But it made sense, even though it didn't make sense, like it made sense for her character that she was building. So I don't know.
And to stem off of that, I think that you said it correctly. I think she was trying to build this character. And as for Estella, I think that she is a broken individual that has a past of trauma, of a revolving door of men, seeing that. And like, there are so many people like that we know, that we come into contact with, that have seen that. And some people are able to live past that and better themselves and be better than the people before them. Some people are not able to do that, and some people are just destined to live in that because it's all they've seen. So, in my opinion, I think that this was put in there just to continue the narrative that there are so many broken people that are in this world that we will come into contact with. Not everybody has this cookie cutter past and are able to live this happy-go-lucky life, if that makes sense. I just think that it was part of the narrative that she was trying to play out, is that these people are broken. So I think it was beautifully done. Do I think that the scene, it did make me feel uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. It was very uncomfortable. It felt, but at the same time, I feel like, that's real life. Sometimes things are uncomfy, and sometimes things are like, ooh, we kind of look at things, we're like, don't want to go in that direction. Like,
And
it's just the way
what's
things
scary
are.
is when somebody's in that, like in a book, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, she kind of flashed him and then he went away. It was harmless. When you start, giving those signals and then backing away, it's very scary situation
Yes.
with a man who is ready to go. And so
Yeah.
that it was written very true to what that could be like, where if you're
Yes.
kind of giving green lights and then you do say stop, because they talk about that with, I don't want to say the R word,
Yep.
but where they're like, well, she said yes in the beginning. It's like, but she said no. As soon as she says no, you're done.
Yes.
And so when you get like, it can be very scary to be in the like green, green, red, and they don't back off. So it's
Yeah.
very true.
And I think that's another reason why people went into this thinking that it was just going to be a cute, cozy mystery, and seeing themes like that in chapter 6, like right off the bat. I think it really threw people for a loop. That's like, whoa, like, what are we getting into here? And I could see how that is completely triggering for some people because, again, we have not a clue what some people have seen.
I'm thinking maybe the rest of the book is going to be like that.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody else, what did you think of Estella? My least favorite was Colin. His cruelty was on it. Yes. Just reading about pop screens made my skin crawl. To show that Estella was going to do whatever it took to help Neil and the girls. I agree. I think that that it's so sad. And I think we did touch on this, but it's so sad to know that that was her only way of feeling like she was productive with the mission. It's messy like real life. I think that she didn't make the characters too believable like most cozies. I mean, other than a group of women trying to solve a double murder. Yeah, totally believable. Estella sadly reminds me of a lot of girls I knew in high school. The mask we wear to hide our scars and insecurities. I agree. I think it was a mask, and this poor girl is just trying to live it. Mom of the group. I can see that. Fulfilled a role in this world. Her personality and backstory deserved a purpose in the unfolding of the story, not as true, well-developed character. Yes. Dolly Parton's character in Steel Magnolias. I'd never seen that one, but I need to watch that now because I've heard
You love it. You got to watch it.
Yeah, you would.
Add it to your list of 1,000 movies that you have to watch.
A lot of people compared this book to that movie.
Huh.
I thought her character choices in chapter 6 made sense based off of what she experienced.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the reading sprint and took your advice and just skipped those few pages. My take on Estella was just wanted someone to care. Oh, I love this, Jamie. She just wanted someone to care about her, and she went about it in a destructive way. That is such a good way to put that. Oh, I already read that one.
Yes.
No is a complete sentence. Hallelujah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Stop.
No matter when.
I imagine Estella. Hannah, why does your comment just keep popping up? It's weird. It's chapter 3.
Be heard.
Yes. Okay. One more. I didn't like Estella at first, but her character developed throughout the book. She reminded me of a friend that I had in high school, and I could see where she was coming from. I do think that her backstory really helped explain why she did what she did.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe in bibliotherapy? Can a person heal from books? Yes or no?
So my answer is it's not complicated, but I'm going to bring my faith into it a little bit and say like
right
from
ahead.
that perspective. So, I think that, so this is from like my perspective as a Christian. I think that God can use books to heal you, and I do think just any books, but I especially think the Bible, like if you have the Holy Spirit to help guide you, like that can bring healing to you. So in that sense, that's kind of how I see in a realistic standpoint. I know this was like magical realism, but I do think like for that, they can bring healing. And I do think God can use different things in different books to speak to different situations we've been in and different, like, we'll relate with the book. We'll have emotions tied with the book. And I think that those things can bring some healing. But at the end of the day, I think that like true and full healing comes from the Lord. And so like, that's the way I see it. Like, I don't think that just a book can heal me, but I do think that in the sense of there are being elements in books that we find that can guide us through the healing process. And that way, yes. So.
Yeah. And I think absolutely it does. I think that books kind of like songs where they can come just at the right time, where it's just like, you go through something and a song didn't make sense, and then all of a sudden it does, and then like just getting those words just when you need them, just at the right time, can just be very healing. Where it's like, I didn't know I needed this, but really, and sometimes it's like, it's not a self-help book. It's not like she was doing some that were very seemed very profound, but then there was like Ender's Game for the one person, and like so it's not just you have to be seeking these books that are going to be very intense and gonna change you, but it could just be like a lot of kids going and reading Harry Potter, or just different books. Like this could speak to a lot of women that need a good friendship and everything. So I definitely think it secures people and gives them hope a lot of times.
I think both of you said it so good. But I'm also going to bring faith in it. I don't believe that books can heal in the way that the Lord can, but that's just me. That's just my faith. But I think that it's words, and the Lord can use words of any kind, whether it be a song, somebody saying something, or whether you're reading it. I feel like He knows what's on our heart, and if our heart is desiring something, then he's gonna get you the message some way, shape, or form. And if it's through a book, and I talked about this book when you guys did Bookathon, The Edge of In Between. That book healed a really broken part of me. And again, I think it's just a matter of feeling seen. Like, whoa, I feel like that too, you know? Like I can read this and I feel like that. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's just a matter of, wow, like exactly how I feel is right here in this book. And we do that sometimes too, exactly what Nora did. Like, hey, this book really touched me. I think you should read this. Or like recommending books. Like, oh my gosh, I loved this book. It really did something for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what Nora did in a way. So,
And I also feel like, so that's like from the reader's perspective, from the author's perspective, that's also kind of what they're doing. They're like, these are my experiences, and they want to help other people, like you said, feel seen and feel heard and understood. So that's what like is so beautiful about being an author, is that they're intentionally putting those words out there to try and, maybe they don't realize it's going to heal somebody, but it does.
yes, and I do think that, and I do applaud Ellery Adams for trying to take on such a daunting task of tackling literally all of these different traumas and handling them with so much care, but at the same time not leaving out those broken parts. Because I mean, that's just how it is. We don't just like fade to black all the time. So that's just what I thought about it. How do we feel, my friends? Can people heal from books? Yes. Yes. Absolutely. 100%. And I love this, Betsy, especially when you're reading your Bible. Yes, Keisha said it perfectly. The right book at the right time is absolutely healing, but it's that lightning in a bottle thing. Very rare for Nora to find a whole pile in 5 minutes. Yes, I can see that. It can help for sure, but it can also hurt if you're a dark and vulnerable place. That can potentially make it worse. I agree. I also see that too, that it can, because if something bothers you, or if something triggers you, then
Yeah.
that's something to definitely stay away from. And I do think, I want to touch on this for just a second. I do think as readers, we have to be aware of our own reading. Like, what bothers me may not bother Keisha, or what bothers Keisha may not bother Yvette. Like, we all try to influence each other and try to, like, hey, this is a great book. But at the end of the day, we have got to be in control of what we put in our hearts and our minds, whether it be good or whether it be bad.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make that little note there. Oh, there you go. We read the books that are meant to at that time, no matter what the reason will be. Yes. Yes. Yes, definitely agree with Keisha. I think, yes, in a way, the processing that the characters do can help us process things we are going through. Absolutely. I agree with Keisha that I don't think it can bring full healing, but push us towards it. I love that. I think that because we can relate to characters who may be going through what we are, seeing how they can handle it can be helpful in our own journey. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Shay, I love it. I love it. And like, this is good for the soul, guys, because that's literally what they did, is they talked about things that were hard, and they talked about those jagged parts of our lives that we kind of keep hidden a lot. And we like to show people this cookie cutter version of ourselves. It's just not reality. I do feel like everyone could connect with at least one character. 100%. Hello. Words are most inexhaustible sort of magic. Yes.
Yes, Dumbledore.
I love it. Oh, I loved that question. Okay. Let's see. We kind of covered question number 5, so we're going to move on to question number 6. Do you feel any different about Nora after learning her secret? Which was
I'm trying to remember the
Her
fullness
secret
of.
was
Oh yeah,
that she was drunk driving because her husband had an affair and she
oh,
ran into someone, and which was a mom and her child, and then the car caught on fire, and then she was the one that had to rescue both of them. So
I didn't feel like different about her, but I felt like I felt for her. Like it didn't change the way that I viewed her, except that it made me feel deeper for her because, like, it's on the one hand you're like, oh, you were irresponsibly driving, but on the other hand you're like, but your husband just had an affair. Like, I mean, it's a series of unfortunate events that took place, and it's, I mean, the trauma that has, I mean, all of that trauma, like the cheating trauma, the wreck trauma, the almost killing people trauma, this trauma, the saving them, the guilt of all of that, and that's a lot for a person to carry. So yeah, I feel like she was a very strong character through all of that.
Yeah, and I wasn't surprised. I kind of all along, with all the hints, was thinking she was drunk driving because, like, she talked about the drinking, and then at one point she talked about like a fire and seeing a boy, and I was like, oh, she probably hit somebody and a little boy. So it wasn't very shocking. I kind of was anticipating. I'm glad they lived because that's what I thought might be it, and I don't know, that might have been a little bit different, where if, like, I was thinking about it, I was like, but what if they had died? Like, she had written it and somebody had died. I think then I would be feeling different. She's lucky that, nothing happened. But, like, if somebody had died because of that, like, I was like, I'm glad I don't have to talk about that. Yeah, I'm glad that she got a second chance after that. And I think the husband, not her cheating husband, but the husband who sent her the kids' shoes, and she keeps them as a token, like, to remember by. I thought that was really, really deep. I was like, and they were like, how cruel. And she's like, no. I was like, yeah, that she's like, I understand. And this is something that just reminds me daily that I need to do better than that. So I didn't see her any differently, but I was, like, glad to hear her story.
Yes. If anything, it made me respect her more because knowing what she went through and the trauma with the burns and everything, like, that's a constant reminder of what happened. And it made me respect her more because she is in the business of helping others. And despite all that heaviness that she has to carry, that there is something to be said about people who go through things and then continue to live life with a smile on their face and continue to look up and just choose joy and choose to help others, because there are also people that go the other direction and spend their entire life bitter because of the things that they've gone through. Because she could have easily been so bitter about, I mean, her husband had an affair. That's enough for any of us to be like, okay, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
And just to think that, like, she didn't do that. She still continued helping people. And I just love Nora now, like, knowing what she endured. So, and I agree, Rachel, that that part was really hard to read, especially with the shoes.
Yeah.
Whew, that was really hard. Pretty much figured out Nora's story right from the get-go because of all the clues. Yes, I kind of saw it coming too. No, I completely understand. Please don't apologize for having your opinion. I get it, but she's also very hard on herself.
I mean, hard on herself, but also, I mean, when you go through that, at one point she does have to forgive herself, but at least she's keeping it as a reminder for herself too.
Yeah. And I think it's also one of those things that some people wouldn't understand, if you've never gone through something like that. And it doesn't even have to be that deep. Like, if you've never been through something, you may look at that person and say, why are they doing that? Well, like, if you walk around in those shoes, you don't really know why they do what they do. And again, that brings us back to Estella. Until you've walked through that, it's really hard to judge from a bird's eye view.
Yeah.
And not walk in their shoes. One thing I thought about is if they had died, she's not much better than Bob. Rash choices from emotional circumstances.
That's what I was kind of. I was like, thank goodness you didn't, because if they had died,
yeah,
probably 2 stars down for me for this book.
Yeah,
I would have just been like, nope.
Yeah, I'm glad she redeemed it.
Yeah, at least they gave her that redeeming chance. And I didn't like the part that I didn't like in this book was how she was trying to, Bob was in a hard situation. Like she was trying to compare her situation to Bob's, and I did not connect with that at all. I was just like,
yeah,
I don't feel. I'm one of those people that if there's like any murders or anything like that, I don't even want to know the person's name. I don't want to give them recognition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear their backstory. I want to hear about the victims. I don't want to hear about the killer. So like when they were giving him a backstory, it's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You kill people.
Yes, I agree. And I think as a society, we tend to do that.
Yeah. We always want to know why, and we want to, but then, you're giving them the glory that they want a lot sometimes.
And that kind of would have been doing that if they would have killed off the characters that she had been in the accident with.
Yeah.
I'm glad she didn't do that.
Yeah.
I agree, Jennifer. It doesn't excuse what she did, but it's not like she was just drinking for the sake of drinking. Trauma makes us do unspeakable things. Again,
we don't know what we're going to do when that stuff happens. Like we would hope that we wouldn't, and everybody probably has a different response, but like in that moment, her world blew up.
And I think that's another reason why like Ellery Adams decided to tackle so many different characters is because we're all different and we all handle situations differently.
Yeah.
And again, it's that bird's eye view of why are you doing that or why are you handling that like that? Like walk a mile in those shoes and then talk about that.
Yeah.
Was phenomenal. Some people would let that take them down, but she used it to grow and improve.
Yeah.
I didn't feel different. I thought it was a great example of how we are human and how one choice can be life-changing. I thought it was really impactful.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm glad you liked it, Sam. And she did let the shoes go at the end. I don't think so.
No.
It's still in the box.
I think she's saying that like that place is no longer locked. They can all use it, but I think she still has the shoes.
I'm gonna look. I don't know.
Where did what was the thing she put the box in? Wasn't that really important?
I thought it was just like in
the coffee table. She unlocked the coffee table.
It's just in her coffee table.
Okay.
Like
that was in the
Bob's hiding place was important, not her.
In the barrel.
Yeah.
Reckless driving versus intentional pushing in front of a train.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, intention versus accident.
I related to her so much because of it, not the drinking and driving, but the drinking because a BF is cheating. I went through it in my early 20s when I wasn't fully following God and I knew him. But Betsy, I'm so glad that you felt comfortable enough to share that with us because that is a huge thing. I fell in with the wrong crowd, but God was still with me during that period because so many bad things could have happened, but he was still But he was still there watching, waiting for me to find my way back to him. Oh gosh, I love that, Betsy. I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love that. And I'm glad you felt comfortable enough to share that with us because again, it's those rigid, hard places in our life that make us who we are today.
Yeah.
Gabby's here.
Hi, Gabby.
Sadly, it was a DNF for me. I really wish I didn't tell myself there was a cozy going in because I was
try it again later.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Chapter 6. So just skip chapter 6 and go to chapter 7.
And I think that if you skip chapter 6, literally it doesn't. I mean, you don't miss anything.
Go to the next one.
But the sheriff he's insufferable. So just know that going in.
Yeah.
But
I don't feel like he was in it as much as I thought he was going to be, though.
I
Like,
don't
he
remember
was-
him in, like, he was Pain, but I didn't feel like he was in it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because if
he
he
just
would have
popped
been, I
in.
would have been like, it would have
Yeah,
been tough.
he was in there too much.
just a quick question. Did you ever suspect Bob?
No! I'm very upset.
No.
I mean, I think you should, because you never should all, like, you know, sometimes you have a character that you're really drawn to and the author tries to, like, flip it on you. But I was like, no, not Bob.
No, not Bob. You know who all of a sudden, like, when they were alluding to it was somebody who was very caring and like blah blah
Yes.
blah. I
Yeah.
thought it was Jed, and I was like, no. I thought it was Jed because he was like hanging around her and like
Yeah.
he
I would have
didn't
been so
turn-
mad.
He didn't
One
turn
star.
in the whole like the potassium or whatever. She was like, you should probably say something, and he's like, no, you know. And then I was like, what if it's him? And then they were like, Bob, and I was like, not Bob. So either way, I would have been very sad.
Yeah.
Colin was in the story more than the sheriff was. That's a good point.
Mhm.
If you don't like Colin, he's in there quite a bit.
He's terrible.
I think they talked about him way more than he was actually in it. Yeah, they did talk about him quite a bit.
Yeah,
Well, nobody suspected Bob. I'm so glad
Right?
because I didn't.
Bob. I was very sad.
I agree. He was a very big surprise, and I thought Jed for a millisecond too.
Yeah,
So
I was
I
just
would've-
I
been so mad.
I had like little heart palpitations. I was like, Jed, and then they were like, no, Bob. Roller coaster of emotions.
I thought
See?
they were going to say it was Jed. 1 star. If it would have been Jed, I would have literally had trust issues for the rest of my life.
Oh my goodness.
I love Jed.
Yeah, he's great.
I'm sorry, like I keep covering you. You just look like a little alligator down there.
Keep up over there.
Little bunny ears.
As soon as you see what stroke.
They can use spoon.
Nora opened up the can of worms that Bob could be trying to get close to them by talking about wanting to be with Estella, and I never thought he would be the killer. Oh, and the little relationship, the fact that he wanted to be with Estella so much.
I know. I thought for sure he was gonna get Estella. I was like, she's at the end, she's gonna realize Bob's the man I need.
Yeah.
Boo.
What a bummer.
I wonder if she ever ends up with somebody.
Not Bob.
But I honestly, even though he did a few actions that I didn't approve of, I was really kind of sad. It was, you know how,
It's sad because you expected more of him and then you find this out. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say this because it's a potential spoil for Stranger Things, but you know, the character that we were just talking about, when he went goodbye, I was so upset, and I felt the same way because it was like, oh, I loved him. And now
I walked away from the TV. Just like, nope.
done.
Peace out.
Ooh, we should have just like a Stranger Things chat.
I'm down.
Also thought Jed.
See? Okay, I wasn't the only one. I was very, very worried.
No, my jaw dropped when it was revealed. Oh gosh, I'm so glad we were all on the same boat. I thought Jed too. I was upset.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear his story. Oh my god. Could you imagine Jed's story? I didn't, but read it before a lot of you, and you were all Team Bob.
You were so Team Bob.
She was like, oh no.
He's like, oh,
Oh gosh. Troy, I'm glad you didn't crush our spirits.
you did a great job. You know,
Wait, I said yes. I totally did. I think you passed over my comment. I
Oh.
missed it.
you totally did. How did
I
you
did.
totally do?
Oh no, this is the one I had a stroke on.
Oh.
She did see it coming.
Okay.
Jennifer, I'm glad because literally nobody else did.
Oh, you thought something was up with him, but maybe not but he was the killer.
Talk to Tex. You're supposed to say as soon as. Okay.
Good ass.
I was sad because I wanted him and Estella to
Right?
get together.
Yeah.
Me too. I was like, and then she'll just realize he's been there all along. Nope.
Disappointed us. Let us down. I did too, Sam, but didn't want it to be.
Yeah.
I never thought he was the killer, but I did get off the vibes at some point. Like, dude, she said, just respect her. I do agree with that in a sense. Because she wasn't interested.
No.
I just looked it up. It says Nora locks the table and says it's no longer a place for her secret. I took that to mean she was going to let the shoes go.
Yeah, I thought it too, but she it's not a secret because she shared it. So now it's a place for other people to put
It's a safe place for all of them. And so I'm really excited. The next book, for sure, somebody's going to just like... I'm excited.
I'm so excited about the next book. Oh, yeah.
Bob.
Thought it was Bob.
Bob.
All right, this is a quick little question. Predictions. Do you have any predictions? At the end, it talks about the new girl, and it talks about the help wanted sign. So do we think that they're going to have a new member?
There's going to be a new girl added to the group.
New girl, hot bod entering the whatever they say.
But wasn't she like very quiet and just kind of like reserved?
Well, something's happened to her, so
something happened, and she had that hospital thing on.
Yeah, they've told everybody's story except for Jed, so now we gotta learn somebody else's.
Yeah, gotta learn Jed and her.
My other prediction is something's going into something's going into her secret place. I don't know what it is, but something's going there.
I agree. I think something else is gonna. I think we're gonna get someone else's story. Definitely.
Yeah.
We're not spoiling our thoughts or anything.
I'm pumped.
We hated it. If you obviously saw that. Let's see.
Well, Jed and her will get together by book 7, probably.
It'll be drawn out.
I think it'll be a few books in. I think they'll like just kind of flirt for a little bit.
A little flirty flirt. There's gonna be
like a conflict of some kind.
Oh yeah, conflict. There's gonna be a new sheriff, so I hope it's Deputy Anders, maybe, or maybe they'll bring somebody else in to make it more conflict.
I did not realize that this. I've seen this book. I didn't realize that was in the series.
No.
Paper cover. That cover and this cover are not
different.
The same vibe.
Also, if
that's book 6,
if it's also not cozy, and that's the like this one's the one that you have, Hannah, or right there, that one's a little bit dark. That one that you have, Keisha, has like hearts and
over time they get lighter and more colorful. That's interesting.
Maybe they're
healing.
They're healing.
Some foreshadowing.
Yeah. Okay, so my prediction is a new sheriff. I don't think Deputy Anders, or at least like a new sheriff or new deputy. Whatever happens to Anders, whatever. But there'll be somebody new, and that will cause tension when the girls try to solve things. And he'll go with June or Estella. So June or Estella.
Okay. I do think that there's a new girl. That new girl will start.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of thinking that she's gonna have an ability, kind of like Hester. And
ooh, that'd be fun.
That would be. What do you think it could be? Music?
No.
Ooh, maybe it is.
Music.
That would be a good one to add in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's also coming to help out with the book.
Oh, that's right. She's working.
She's gonna work there.
A famous barista. She's gonna make you the perfect coffee.
Oh, that would. Oh, yes, I need that.
Right?
Katie, that's okay. Predict I will move on to the series.
There are a few cozies out there to pick from.
Yes, that is okay. Well, I started to read chapter 1 of the second book when I got to the end of the first book, so I think there's definitely something gonna happen.
I think there's something gonna. I love that.
A new girl with issues and a mystery. Yeah. I love it.
Sounds solid.
Point blank.
Someone new is coming to shake things up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's connected to Jed. Like she was presumed dead, and now she's.
I don't want a love triangle though.
No, I love triangle boo.
But with Jed, I don't know. I feel like that would taint my enjoyment of Jed if it was a
We'll
love
see.
triangle.
No love triangles.
It'd be like The Summer I Turned Pretty all over again. Like, who do you choose?
Yeah. Oh, that was a good love triangle though, because there's some good options there. I digress.
I'm just saying there better be more of Jed.
Yeah.
100%. Katie's on book 4.
Ooh, nice.
You
Book
fly
3.
through.
Mhm.
Book 3 was my very favorite. And she started reading this with us. So she's
No, really?
binged the whole series.
Zooms through.
Oh my gosh, I thought she was rereading it or something.
Katie, don't give us any like spoilers, but are we in the ballpark of what we think is going to happen?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a spoiler. I don't
Be
know.
spoiler. Don't tell us. Don't tell us anything.
Don't tell us, Katie. Just kidding. Major part of the next mystery. Oh, I think there's 7.
There's 6 on Goodreads. The 7th one comes out, I think, later this year.
Oh wow,
So
good timing. Good to know.
Mhm.
I wonder if her ability will be related to why she's wearing a hospital gown.
She can heal people.
I
With
think
her
there's 7. I'm worried about what happened with Jed's mother. What does he blame himself for?
Maybe it's Jed's mother.
Oh gosh,
Well, she's a little young, I think.
I think she is a little young.
That's her magical power.
I don't want it, but who knows?
Age.
Oh, the love triangle. Maybe his sister. Not
Or maybe not connected at all, but
Yeah.
the speculation.
I feel like this seems like it could definitely be connected to him, though. Now
I feel like she
people
might
are
be
saying
connected
that.
in
Mhm.
some way, shape, or form. Okay. Now we're getting into the more personal questions or question. If you could eat a comfort scone of your choosing, what flavors would you choose and why? So, if we remember, the comfort scones were made from a memory based off of a flavor that you have had in the past that links you to a good memory or a memory in general. So, if you were to create your own scone, comfort scone, what would it be?
Okay. So mine would actually be kind of what I realized as we were talking about it would be what's on the cover of the book, which is going to be like the basic scone, but with clotted cream on it and raspberry jam or fresh strawberries. Because when I was a kid, whenever it was my parents' birthdays, like the one thing I knew how to make was plain scones. And like I saw it in a cookbook once and I found it before Mother's Day, I think it was. And so I was always trying to bake them something for breakfast, but I was young. So I could make scones and I could make fresh whipped cream because that's super easy. And I would do fresh strawberries and put it in like a little star, like I would chop them up like in slices and put them in a star. And we'd all have those. So that's the type I would have because it just reminds me of family. And then it's also one of my favorite, like I've been to England a couple times. And so whenever I go, I'm just like clotted cream. It's so yummy. And so it's just good memories.
Oh, I love that. That's so sweet.
Little Yvette, she was like 7.
I had the hardest time trying to answer this question because I wanted some like really deep, meaningful thing. I'm like, girl, you're Southern. Why do you not have any good memories tied to food? So I struggled. So what I ended up coming up with, because I kept thinking about like, okay, what are different things, like whatever. So my grandmother had a muscadine vine in this like little arch in her backyard. So it was like a picket fence type little arch, and the muscadines grew on it. So if y'all don't know what those are, which I feel like most people do, but if you don't, they're kind of like grapes. They grow like a
yeah.
And you can make like muscadine jelly from them. So I would have a scone with muscadine jelly in it for that. And the reason why I decided to pick that was because that little area was so overgrown. It was kind of like, so me and my cousin, when we would go to my grandmother's, that was like a little hiding space for us. So I think this was probably something that was, a lot of kids had this, because I know there's been shows with it and all this stuff. But there was a lady that lived a couple houses down from my grandmother, and we always thought she was a witch. And we would like go sneak down there and be like, is she looking like, and do all that stuff. And then we would go back and we would hide, or that, like, so we would hide there from her, or we'd just be like, which we never saw that lady. We were just making it up in our brains.
Yeah.
We were kids. But that was also like our little clubhouse and our little area. And so it just, that is tied to, I guess, like the innocence of childhood, and then just those memories with my cousin. So I think that would be the most tied with the memory thing I could think of. Scone with mustard.
I love that.
That's so
That is
cute.
so cute. Oh, little baby Keisha and little baby Yvette.
Yeah.
Well, mine is
Grab your tissues.
I promise I will not try to cry. Mine is kind of sad. But I told Keisha and Yvette, and I'll tell all of you. So this past January, not this year, 2023, I lost my grandfather, which my grandparents basically, like, they were second parents to me. And that was really the first person that I had lost, like, out of anybody in my family. And that was my first experience of grief. And so I knew right off the bat when I came up with this question, I wanted it to be linked to my grandfather in some way. And when I was a kid, we used to eat these orange popsicles together. Like, it was literally his favorite thing in the world. He just loved orange popsicles. And I don't know, like, why. It was just always the orange. And I always, like, wanted to be like him. I was like, Mama, can you hand me the orange one? Because Papa has an orange one. And so we would eat those together. And then I was telling Keisha and Yvette that, like, when he got so sick, that was actually the last thing that he got to eat. And I was fortunate enough to be there when he asked for it. And he said, Hannah, can you go get me an orange popsicle? And can you feed it to me? And it was really sad, but at the same time, it was like a beautiful thing, because that was a memory that we shared together growing up. So that's what my scone would be an orange popsicle flavor.
Love it.
So
I am good. But you can tell us, like, a good memory, a sad memory. Again, I didn't mean to, like, make it seem sad. It was sad in a way, but then I feel like nothing would have made me happier.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I could eat those again, but at the same time, like, it would bring me back.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we cried.
So sweet.
And I see that a lot of you are sharing your memories too. I don't know if I can handle these. Okay, y'all better get my tissues ready. Berry Scone reminds me of berry picking as a child. Oh my goodness. I love it. Lemon and blueberry. Orange and cranberry, which reminds me of Christmas with my son.
I love that.
That's probably my favorite flavor, like, just in general. But, like, for
Orange
memory,
and cranberry. Or orange and cranberry.
Orange and cranberry.
Yeah, if I picked just one random, it would be like lavender lemon or lavender or lemon blueberry or something like that. Some combination of those.
Yeah.
For memory's sake, I picked something.
Yeah,
different.
memory's sake. But if I just was picking a scone, orange and cranberry, I love those.
See, like, I had never had a scone before this challenge, before this book club. I never, like, had one before. So I need to try all these flavors.
Yeah.
Well, I'm baking one tomorrow because I was going to do it today and have it with it, and then it just got ruined. But I'm going to do it tomorrow. It'll be my little happy thing tomorrow.
What kind are you making?
I was thinking that I would do cranberry.
Yeah.
Just like nice little cranberries in there.
S'mores. It would take me back to summers as a kid at an old summer place and sitting by the campfire with my nan making s'mores. Oh, I love it.
Hot take. I hate marshmallows.
Like in anything, like no s'mores.
No marshmallows. I will eat the chocolate and the graham cracker, and I will toast the marshmallow because it's fun, and then I'll give it to someone else.
I mean, they're not like my favorite thing, but I love s'mores, like, but marshmallows just by themselves, probably not, but like s'mores.
Don't like marshmallows.
Okay.
What about marshmallow fluff?
Ugh.
Because that and peanut butter on a cracker, oh, y'all, that's some good stuff.
Even worse.
I'm still stuck on the fact that you eat s'mores with just the chocolate. Like, because
I just eat some chocolate and I eat some graham cracker. That's all I'm doing. I'm just like, yum, yum.
No. What do you toast?
I toast the marshmallow, but I give it like for an activity, but I give it away.
For an activity.
Just to be entertained.
It's fun. You're like burning something. Like, who doesn't like to burn things?
That is a terrible time to bring that up now that we're talking about this book.
Oops.
Oh gosh, you're so hilarious. And not Yvette being a kitchen goddess already as a child.
I thought I was a little chef.
Cinnamon coffee cake. Mom let me help her when I was a toddler. All ingredients went in a bag and you smashed them together. I love it.
I love cinnamon.
I thought about this when reading the book, and I think I would be. I'm sorry that I've covered you up. I think it would be something to have to do with either banana bread or chocolate chip cookies. Things I remember my Nana and Mom making. I will love it, guys. I love it. A pumpkin flavored scone. My mom passed of cancer 7 years ago. Used to make pumpkin rolls every year in the fall, and it was my favorite dessert. I love it.
I love
guys. I think honeysuckle and lilac. Fancy. Those scents reminding my childhood just make me pause and take it in for a minute. Oh, I love
that.
Did you guys
unique flavor?
Yeah, that's fun. Did you guys have honeysuckles near you growing up? And did you like pick them?
Yeah, pick them and get the little tiny drop of honey out of them.
You're just like, oh, they're so tasty.
Yeah.
We actually have some in our backyard right now. Like, it is the most southern thing to go out there and be like, you want honeysuckle?
Yep, have a little honeysuckle.
Your cornbread is showing. A banana pudding flavored scone. I don't know if that's even possible for a scone, but it would hit with both of my grandparents. One of them I most recently lost. Very good memories. Oh, Rachel, I'm so sorry. Mine would be a pumpkin scone.
Nice.
That's fun.
The gooeyest cinnamon roll in scone form with icing and extra vanilla extract.
Yum.
My grandma Hazel made the best cinnamon rolls that have never been replicated by anyone in our family. It is all in the love. I love it. Oh, a banana bread scone with chocolate filling.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I almost didn't share that because I knew that that is a very, very hard subject for me to talk about. But
glad you did. That's so
thank you, my friends.
Ooh,
bacon and
That sounds good.
love it.
Now I want some of that.
We're all ready.
Somebody bring the bacon, somebody bring the chocolate.
That makes me want to make chocolate covered bacon. Like, let me go get some bacon and then just drizzle some.
Yeah.
That sounds
Like
good.
maple, because they do make maple scones. So like bacon maple scone.
Oh yes, maple bacon donuts are like my jam. I'm just saying.
That sounds so good. Yeah. Oh, thanks, guys. You're so sweet. We are. We even talked. I think we even talked about this with me, Keisha, and Yvette. We're like, we are the Secret Book and Scone Society.
Yes.
I love it. Oh, no, Rachel, I love you. Blackberry and lemon.
Sounds amazing too.
Y'all are coming with these really good sounding.
Making me hungry.
Vanilla breakfast. Strawberries. My grandparents always had vanilla ice cream in every summer. Every summer. I was like, scumming your grandparents.
Yummer.
Every summer they would get flats of strawberries to make wine to freeze. My hands stained red cutting them up. I love how all of our memories are linked with people.
Yeah.
Isn't that so beautiful? I love that. I'm gonna get all up in my feels, but like seriously, It really does matter who you see in your life.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, yes. I think there's a lot to be said about losing a grandparent.
Yeah.
Especially if you were super close to them.
Sam, I really liked you were posting about your grandpa, I think yesterday or today, and showing all your cow, Steve.
Oh,
pictures.
yes.
She was showing all of her showings and everything, and she said, if I can say it, Sam, I think you wouldn't mind, but like she was talking about how her grandpa told her, well, this heifer's name is Sammy, like, so she's meant for you. And I thought that was so sweet. Like he was like, this cow's meant for you because you have the same name. And then like later on, she found out he told everybody that. But like, how sweet is that? I love that story you shared, Sam. It was very sweet.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Flutternutter.
Fluffernutter. That's the peanut butter and marshmallow fluff.
Yvette doesn't like marshmallow.
But have you had marshmallow fluff?
I have, and I don't.
Fluffernutter.
It's better than regular marshmallows. The marshmallow fluff with peanut butter on saltine crackers.
I do like saltine crackers.
Well,
so I'll eat that, and I'll eat the peanut butter, and then
we need a taste test. Make it happen. Had my first scone in England. That is so cool, Katie. Plain scone with clotted cream. The cream looks like sour cream, but it is a delicate sweet flavor. Oh, it's so sweet. Almond with a glazed drizzle. Packet. I don't bar for marshmallows either. I can. Y'all are having me.
It feels validated now.
You're right there.
Oh, I can eat the small ones on s'mores. And there was a ton of butter in those cinnamon rolls, and I would put more on top. I love it. I'm obsessed with marshmallows. PB and marshmallow fluff as a sandwich.
Yep.
I always have marshmallows in the house.
You're making me want to go to the store and get some of this because now I want some fluffernutters.
Y'all know I'm great.
You're fine.
Fluffernutter.
I'm not mad.
We should all have a fluffernutter taste the next time we get together.
I like Nutter Butters.
It sounds the same.
Doesn't different, but I love Nutter Butters.
So they have to be the same.
I love Nutter Butter.
Oh my gosh. Oh yes. We could talk all night about grief.
Yeah.
I agree, Jamie. Same. My brother tried to teach me how to take a stem out of a honeysuckle, but I was never good at it. Oh yeah, it's all in the technique, girl. Mm-hmm. It's all in the technique. Lemon and blueberry.
I love those. I like those.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And we shared our love for bacon. I love it. I love my grandpa and everything he did for me. One of my favorite memories.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm glad you shared it.
That's so sweet, Sam. Oh, you're so sweet. Again, we're just having a Secret Book and Scone Society moment where we are sharing our jagged edges here. That's okay. That's okay. Y'all are just making me struggle over here. Okay. We are getting closer, so let's go to any favorite quotes. If you don't know right offhand, that's okay. While you guys look, I'll share mine. So they were actually the quotes that I shared on Instagram, which are my number one favorite quote was Jed is asking Nora, how does fiction heal? And it said she said not all injuries are physical. Loved that. That was my favorite quote. And then I think Nora also said this one, or no, this was just the narrator saying it. And it was, the books in her shop weren't merely things. They were gifts wrapped in imagination, inspiration, excitement, pain, and heartache. Gifts given by thousands of writers. Gifts just waiting to be opened. That.
Love that.
There were so many good ones in here.
Mhm.
Especially, I feel like chapters 1 and 2 were just
that's where most of I don't have a ton of tabs, but like I highlighted like this whole, well, you can't see it because of, but like a lot of that, and
Yeah.
those pages were like pages 5 through 9 were a lot of mine, or 4 through 9.
Yeah, I feel like chapter 1 and 2 were just so rich of quotes. That's how I knew like I was hooked.
That you liked it, yeah. Yeah, I don't have the physical book, but I wish I had written it down. I was listening to it while doing my makeup the other day, and I was like, "You're never gonna remember this quote," and I did not remember the quote.
That's okay. That's all right.
But it was towards the end. It was so good too. But no, there were a lot of good quotable ones.
Yeah. I know we said this one a lot, but the one on page 123 where she said, "We're damaged women, not bad, not evil, but broken. The darkness wriggles in through the cracks, but so does the light." Like, that was just so good. That's the whole book in a nutshell.
Yes.
It's just so good.
That should be the quote on the front of the book. Like that, like, oh, I love that. I love that quote. Another one is in chapter 1 when I forgot who she was talking to. I think she's talking to a nurse. But the nurse says, "You have to sink to the very bottom, my child," the woman had whispered in her lullaby voice. "After that, you can push off with both feet and start swimming toward the surface. You're strong. You can get there, but it's going to hurt."
Yeah.
I liked how that nurse brought her through things and didn't let her sit there and wallow, like made her read these that was what I liked so much about it, was that like her healing books aren't always going to be these light and fluffy. It may dig deep into your trauma. It may dig deep into what you've gone through, and it may, be very uncomfortable while you're reading it. But sometimes that's, that nurse really knew what she needed.
Yeah.
And I think there's also something to be said about that, because in a way, the other women did that for each other. Like they didn't just let each other wallow in it. Like they listened and were fully present with each other.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they knew like, hey, let's get out of this. Let's move forward.
And I did like that they didn't automatically trust each other with their story. Like it took time to build that and everything. It wasn't like, here, let me lay it out for you. It was, Nora's took the entire time.
I agree. All right. My book's at home, darn it. That's okay. Yes, there are lots. And I just want to show you real quick, like a overview of our tabs.
Yeah.
You just over-tab everything anyways, though, Hannah. But I love it.
The highlights are very real. But I also wanted to be very prepared for the discussion. But there were so many things in here that were so good. So good. So both of those are on my list. Jed said some sweet things about Nora saying her scars made her more complex.
Yeah, I like that too.
Jed is just such a sweetheart. What would this place look like? The place where you'd begin a new life. It would have lots and lots of books. I can't live without.
Yes, I highlighted that too, where the whole little town that she would live in and stuff.
Yes, and I think she talked about how if it doesn't have a bookstore, the town doesn't have a heart or something.
Yeah, if it wants a soul, then yes, every town needs a bookstore. Yeah.
So good. So good. I think it was Nora and June who said to the lady villain, I can't remember her name, that you have to go through something to get out of it.
Yep. That's good too.
And Shelley liked the Tolkien stuff at the end. Those tennis pages totally highlighted. I tabbed and highlighted throughout, but in bed after work. And my book is in the other room, totally okay. But yeah,
I liked all the quotes at the beginning of the chapters too. Like that, she took time to think of those as well.
Oh, and we forgot about the very first quote, like that before the book even starts. The Virginia Woolf quote.
Yeah,
I didn't tab that one. I'll let you guys read it on your own, but it's a good one. It's a good one. And I do like that she included a character list too. I liked that.
I do like that.
Felt a kinship among us on Sundays too. Our ages, skin colors, and backgrounds didn't matter a whole one iota. And we were just women with a common purpose.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's good.
Yes. Okay. Let's skip to number 11. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so we got three more things we're going to talk about. Number 11. If you had to screencast these characters, who would you choose and why? So I asked my lovely co-host to screencast these characters, and I'm going to show you who we decided on. So you guys in the comments, you go ahead and see, like, is there somebody that you see as this person in the book? So go ahead and leave those in the comments. Oh, let's catch Jennifer's. As soon as healing takes place, go out and heal somebody else.
Oh, yes. And that's what she was doing.
Yes. She used her trauma to help somebody else. Okay. Let's see. Let's make ourselves small. Let's go downhill. Okay. First up, Keisha. There is Keisha's castings. Keisha, would you like to iterate on any of these castings?
Yeah, I mean, like, some of these were hard. Like, some of these I feel like stood out. I went back and forth on some of them. Like, my original thought was, like, who am I going to put as Jed? And originally I had him as a young Jude Law, but then I was like, no, Jude Law is more like English man, and this is more like Jed was more like country in the audiobook. So I put John Brotherton as him, and John Brotherton is in some Hallmark movies. He's also in Fuller House. He plays,
really?
Yeah, one of the love interests of Candace Cameron, DJ, whatever. He's the doctor anyway. So I feel like, I don't know, he just seemed like a good Jed character. And then Lacey Chabert is like in Mean Girls and all that. Not so much Mean Girls character, but in her Hallmark movies, I feel like she is such a good Nora main character. I
love her Hallmark movies, and she's like Christian background and everything. She's super sweet.
She was like a very good one. I struggled with like the other three women a little bit, so those are kind of a little bit random, but the softness of Amanda Seyfried and like Mamma Mia specifically, like just how soft her features were. That's kind of how I viewed Hester. Nia Long is in that show on Hulu. What is that show called? I haven't watched it, but like I've seen her in some stuff. And then she's most known for that show that I can't think of that I haven't seen. But I felt like she looked the most like what I envisioned June to be. And she just seems like such an approachable, sweet, like, because she works at that, what is it, bathhouse type thing? I don't know. And she just looks like very much the character. And then Estella, Jessica Chastain, she was in, is it The Help? I think it's The Help that
I think she's in The Help.
She's in other stuff too, but like she's like this. If Estella was mean, which Jessica Chastain typically plays like the meaner, like, but I don't know, especially the way she looks in that picture. That's why I included that picture of her. I was like, this looks like,
like is in The Help.
Salon, fashionista. Yeah. So. Oh, and then the last one, if y'all don't know who Noah Emmerich is, I didn't know his name. If y'all watch White Collar, he is one of the main. I forgot what the company. He doesn't work for the FBI. It's another company that he works for, and I cannot stand him. He is like, why are you just trying to stir up trouble? So he was Sheriff Toad for me. So just in case y'all don't recognize some of those people, that's where they're from.
I don't have my glasses on, so that one number 2, I thought that was David Beckham, and I was like, what?
No, he's most known, I think, from Fuller House and then movies. So,
and then Jessica Chastain is in The Help. I thought.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was like, who's that girl from The Help? So,
all right, very good casting, if I do say so myself, my friend. You did a great job. You should go into movie direction.
I don't know about that. I was stretching for some of it.
Okay. Event.
Oh. All right.
Oh, Jed.
Jed.
That was my reaction when I saw Jared pop up. I was like, yes.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
So I didn't put them in great order, but Nora I had as Emmy Rossum. A lot of people know her more from, I forget what it's called. but it's a hot mess show. But really, she's from Phantom of the Opera for me. And so, but I just like her like soft features. I mean, it talked about her having like the curly hair and everything, and I just feel like she could be very fiery, but she also could be very soft spoken when she plays. So that was Nora, and then to match Jed of Jared Padalecki, because we love him, especially when he does, like, he's been in Walker recently, kind of like Western and stuff. So that's who I saw as
That's
Jed.
such a good choice. Oh, I like that.
I would have changed mine.
I see that face right there. I'm like,
Right? I know. I found that one. I was like, right there.
Literally,
AR
Jed.
out, and he is Jed.
Yeah,
He is Jed.
He's
Jed.
Jed. Same name. And then I had Estella as Cassidy Freeman. So she's been in, I don't know if anybody watched like Smallville a long time ago, and she was in that. She was like working at Lex Luthor Corp, but she's been in a lot of like CW TV shows and stuff. She was Jack in, let me think of the TV show, Once Upon a Time. So Jack and the Beanstalk, she was Jack, and it was, you know, the gender bend. It was a woman who was Jack, actually. Jacqueline was her name. And so so she was Jack, and she's always very like fiery. She has this kind of sultry voice, so I really like her a lot. And then Candace King for Hester. She's always like Vampire Diaries. She's my favorite character. She's very like she starts off the most meek, but she's the most strong, I feel like. And so like, but I feel like she could play that innocent character of Hester, where she's kind of very like I just said, innocent on that show. June Brandy, I just thought, you know, I feel like Brandy could be very caregiving. She would be a very suitable one.
What is she playing?
Brandy, she was a singer, and then she did like Cinderella at one point, and she's been
the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's in the most recent. Oh, what's it called? Not Despicable, but Deception. What's it called? It's a Disney Channel TV movie. And it had like Maleficent in it and Mal and like Descendants. Yeah, D. I was like, can't remember. Descendants. I think that she's in that, but I'm not sure. And then finally, I cast Bob a second time. This was the later Bob. And this is the guy, if you've ever seen Grey's Anatomy, he's the bartender in Grey's Anatomy.
He looks like a Bob.
And I could not get anybody for Sheriff Toad because all I could think of was Professor Umbridge the whole time. And I was like, that's a woman. And so
a male version of her.
I could not come up with anybody. I just knew that I hated him. So didn't have one for him.
Okay, but I completely agree with it.
Oh my gosh, he's everywhere.
Glenn Powell. It's funny because, I keep like a notes of different, because I don't normally picture people in my mind, and I have like a notes of brunette female main characters, blonde female main characters, and then the same for male main characters. And I wrote this like 2 years ago or something, and one of them was Glenn Powell, and now it's just like everywhere. I was just like, well, he's gonna be perfect casting for everything. But it was because my favorite movie was like Set It Up. I think that movie's hilarious, and he was so funny in it. And I was like, Glenn Powell, and then now it's just like, dang it, you're a sexy man and everything.
He is definitely like, I feel like he's finally come out into the limelight where he deserves to be. And now I cannot stop picturing him for literally everything I pick up. It used to be, and it's not like that I'm like drooling over this guy, but at the same time, I'm like, that's him. That's literally Glenn Powell. And it used to be Henry Cavill. I literally
I love Henry Cavill.
But at the same time, I was like, that's just Henry Cavill. Like,
Yeah.
No other guy. It's who that is.
Well,
but now it's
the thing
clear.
is, the authors probably were like Henry Cavill. You know,
Probably.
they're just like, oh, let me just.
I have such a type because Henry Cavill's like my guy, but then we started watching White Collar, and I'm like Matt Bomer, and I'm like they literally look so similar. I'm like, I have a type.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think my favorite part of this casting is Jared. Like,
Yeah.
that is Jared.
He's
For
probably-
sure. As soon as you put this up, I was like, oh, that's him.
I'm
Yeah.
going to change mine.
Yep.
Okay. Guess mine. Okay. So,
Oh,
Hester, I put as Melissa McCarthy because I told you that I love Suki.
sorry.
I just pictured her as like cute and bubbly and just Suki. And then June for Heather Hadley. Heather Hadley plays in Sweet Magnolias. And she just has this whole like businesswoman attire, like I've got it all together. But then June had like a hidden past that we didn't know about. And I feel like in Sweet Magnolias, Heather plays that character really well. So I really liked her as June. And then I was so excited about Estella because I freaking love Bryce Dallas Howard so much. She plays in a lot of different things, but the main place I know her from is all of the Jurassic Worlds that just came out.
Love her in them.
So good in those. She is such an independent woman. Okay, she can do anything. So, and then Sheriff Toad.
I love her.
If you've ever watched Dukes of Hazzard, which is a very old show,
I have not thought about him in so long.
Right? This is so perfect. Though.
Boss Hogg from Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
That was my picture of him. And then Nora and Jed.
Mm-hmm. Let's see him.
Oh,
Joanna Garcia Swisher. And James Franco. I just love James Franco so freaking much. That gif from the Spider-Man movie where he turns around and he winks. You guys know what I'm talking about? And he like disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Literally gets me every time. I love James Franco. So I could either see him as James Franco or I could see him as Jared. I feel like they kind of look similar anyway. So
I like your Nora a lot.
Yes, I love her so much.
So
have you guys ever watched Reba?
Yeah.
a
I mean,
lot.
that's where I know her from.
I, for the longest time, didn't know that that's who that was.
Oh.
And my husband was like, yeah, that's Joanna Garcia Swisher. And I was like,
I love her Vance in Reba.
Yes. I love him so much.
So much. I had such a crush on him growing up. He was hilarious. He was the sweetest to her. I was like, this guy. And he's so tall.
Yes.
He's just born. I love it.
So let's go back to I'm just gonna like breeze through these comments like for the to see if you guys casted anything or not. Let's see. Katie said no. I read about their traits and make up faces.
Yeah, I typically do too.
Yeah.
Amanda Seyfried as Nora. Blake Lively. Okay. I feel like she's just so sweet though. Blake Lively is.
Yeah, but she can she
can play. Yeah, she can play.
Yeah, she's on Gossip Girl and be very like saucy.
That is true. Evangeline Lilly.
Like
Stephen Bailey as Bob is perfect. I love it. I'm pretty sure Glenn Powell has every love interest in because Alexis Bledel, which I believe isn't that the girl that played Rory?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. Yes, Heather Hadley is so great. Yes, I love Heather Hadley. Okay.
Okay, another one.
I'll see it. So it's like a mixture of all of ours. Jabba the
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you did that man dirty. Boss. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. I'm not mad about it. I could see it. Yes.
I also saw Nora as being, I don't know why, but I was thinking like somebody with a little bit like of Hispanic ethnicity. I just felt like she could be, I couldn't come up with anybody though, but I was like, I feel like she could be somebody very spicy like that.
Yes. Roy from Gilmore Girls present day. Yeah, I could see that.
Statuesque ice cream thing, yeah.
All right. So another thing I ask my co-host to do is to redesign the book cover. Let's redesign the book cover. So I did not put names on these book covers. So I'm wanting to see if you guys can guess.
We're all going to know which one Yvette's is. I'm going to reiterate. We're all going to know.
Who did what cover? 1, 2, and 3. I'll give you about 10 seconds. Dun, 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 dun. I like all of them. They are very good. Oh, America Ferrera. Could kind of see that.
Ooh, I like that.
I can see nothing except Gotta Kick It Up with her. I know she was like Ugly Betty and some other stuff, but like Gotta Kick It Up on Disney Channel was like my show, and that's how I see her all the time.
I love America Ferrera. She's great.
She was the traveling pants too. She was.
I feel like that'd be a really good one, actually.
Did you guys watch Barbie?
Yeah,
the new Barbie movie.
Yeah,
I think she did a really good job in that one.
I did too. She had some great, strong quotes.
And what? I had no idea.
I didn't know that either.
Her first language is Spanish.
Huh.
Wow. Okay, we got guesses. Keisha did 3. Me, Yvette, Keisha. 2 is me. 1 is Yvette.
I underestimate y'all's ability to know things.
I love this cover. Oh, you're so sweet, Katie.
I wouldn't read mine.
Keisha 1. Me 2. Yvette 3. Okay.
I like how you put that one. You just put it 2, 3, 1. Like no rhyme or reason.
Okay. First one. Who made the first one?
Me. It's very quick, and it's basically the same cover.
Listen,
but I put fire coming out of the coffee.
I love the fire. And I have no idea how to do
and so much.
You guys know how to use Canva and stuff. I have no idea how to do that.
We just gave away who did the second one. I did the second one with Canva. And Fancy Pants over there.
It's not that fancy.
Well, Yvette is an artiste. Okay, literally
talented. So I need to know, did you like completely make that from scratch?
Yeah.
Of course she did. It's fantastic.
I don't. Yeah, thank you. But I was just like, I sent a message. I just sent a message to Hannah when I sent, like, because I did it last night. And I was I was thinking, I wish I could use Canva because I had all these ideas. I was like, it's going to be inside a bookshop or like from the outside of a bookshop. And you're going to see like in the background a realty. And there's going to be like the house is going to be a little bit on fire. There's going to be legs coming out like from the side, dead body. And like I had all these ideas, and then I was trying to draw it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's not happening in one night."
I love what you did, and I love how the T is the candlestick with that. Like it's so cool.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring like the fire in it, so I did like a candle was the fire. I like what you did, Keisha, with that fire. Like that's what I was doing was like a little fire, and then I did do the little house.
Yes,
I wanted
all the details on the house though.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this looks more like a sticker. It does not look like.
No, it is amazing.
I would buy that sticker. Honestly, you should make that.
It's a sticker.
We would all buy that from you.
But there's illustrated covers are so popular now, so like I could see that being a cover.
Yeah,
yes, I agree.
It was fun though.
And then, Cassie, you were the only one that guessed right. I was so wrong.
So wrong.
And Scone is the T. Great job, all. Thank you. All right. That was just a little fun, little extra thing that.
I don't get it. Hannah Scone is the tea.
I guess she means that it replaced the teacup.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
That makes sense.
Instead of a teacup, then I did a scone. Mm-hmm. Thanks, guys. You guys are so... Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Jennifer. You guys
that was fun, though.
Okay. One last... Let's get back to... Okay, let's get... Yeah. Hold on. Let me go back.
Sunset.
Okay. Last thing. Final ratings. What did you give this book? How many stars did you give this book?
5. Sorry, I have a dog now. 5 stars. I loved it so much, even though I would have preferred there not have been a promiscuous woman with the chapter 6 stuff, and even though there was a little bit of, I think she said GD like a couple times in there, but like overall, I did not know what to expect going into this book, and I was so pleasantly surprised, and I loved the depth of it. Like, I loved it so much. Oh, you're probably going to ask this, so never mind. I'll wait on what I was about to say.
Oh, I was going to say it too. Yeah, say it.
What, that I'm going to read this one?
Yeah.
I loved it so much. I want to because I'm so excited.
You bought it. That's so exciting.
Yeah. I rated it 4, and really, I was going along like I really did like it, and I liked all the. I feel like there's definitely room for growth for me. Like I think there's the other ones are, like somebody was saying who was it? Not Katie. Katie was saying that number 3 was her favorite. So hopefully, it continues to grow. The only part that really didn't jive with me so much was like Bob being like, let's try and give him redeeming pass. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, no, he murdered. But that was it.
Are you going to continue in the series?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I liked it.
I went back and forth with my rating because again, like Keisha, there was actually a lot of things that I wish weren't in there.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's one of those things that I chose to overlook it because of the depth of the story and because of the way that it made me feel. So I gave it 5 stars. I gave it 5 stars, and I really didn't think that I was going to give it 5 stars. And it has sit with me. Like, I've literally thought about this book all month. So I even may go into the second bit next month. So I don't know for sure. But let us know your ratings. 3.5, 4. No one's surprised I gave it a 2. That's okay. That's all right. 4, 3.5, closer to 4. 4.5, 5. 4.5, 4.75. I love it. 4 on Goodreads. 3.5, but rounded up to 4. Marked it off for the scene in chapter 6 and taken the Lord's name in vain. Yes, I wish some of those things were not put in there.
Yeah, me too, Katie.
Yep.
Not over it.
Continue on in the series over time. So many books, a little time. Also, guys, in the chat, let us know, are you going to continue in the series?
Yeah.
Oh, Grandma Susan read. Oh, yes.
Oh,
I think I remember you saying that. That you had read this series. Gave it a 4. Katie gave it a 5. I knew that coming, Katie. Oh my gosh, Troy has the next 2. That's awesome.
I feel like everybody was pretty close.
Hannah and you were so worried. Look how well this went.
I know.
I was a little worried. I'm not even gonna lie. I texted Keisha after everybody was like, this is terrible. This is a terrible book. And I was like, I'm having a crisis. What do you
do when nobody likes the book? And I was
nobody likes this book. And I was having, a moment. But again, like, thanks guys for bearing with me. And thanks all of you in the chat for bearing with me too, because this is brand new to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm just trying to make sure everybody has a good time and make sure everybody enjoys the books that I pick.
You did such a good job, Hannah. And this was really such a perfect first book. Like the discussion with it was so good and in depth. And like, it's so good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do want to make a point that, like, if I ever pick a book, I want everybody to look into it for themselves, because I think that was a lot of the reason that I had that crisis, was because I was like, I didn't know this was in here. And I think that we should all be aware, because I'm human. Okay. I make mistakes. I miss stuff. And so if you're able to find something before me, then don't read it. So if you think that you're not going to enjoy it, then don't read it. But at the same time, I'm trying to pick books that I think everybody will enjoy and that I think that will be all cozy with. But if for some reason there is a book that doesn't fit what you think you'll like, no judgment here. Okay. So if you ever don't want to go into a book that I pick, and that goes for anybody, then no hard feelings. Okay. We're just trying to, we're just doing the thing. Okay.
And just come to the sprints, because those are always fun.
Yes. We will have sprints regardless.
Yeah.
If anybody even likes the book, we're going to have sprints.
Yeah. Still get to hang out.
Yes, I understand. Continue, but over a period of time. I agree.
Yeah, 7.
But the second book as soon as I finish the first, planning for it to be the August read. Nice. I'd be willing to continue the series, but I don't have firm plans about it or anything. I understand. It's okay if everyone doesn't like it. It's what leads to a great discussion. That's something else that Keisha was like, she's like, Hannah, it's going to be okay. If anything, we're just going to have a good discussion about it.
Yeah.
Because that leads to big feelings and big emotions and big opinions. So it doesn't set me or turn me off. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Yes, I agree. I think it was just a what's it called? Identity crisis or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like,
but sometimes you don't know. Like, the book's marketed as a cozy mystery, so why would you think any of that stuff would be in there? You know,
right.
So nobody blames you because you don't know. You know, and look how it ended up. It was great for a lot of us. So.
Yes, and I think that's just a part of, like, this is all new, and I like wanted everybody to, and that's just my personality. Like, I'm always like, oh, I want everybody to have a good time. And that's
I mean, look at what happened to me with Dear Henry Love Edith. I had never heard a bad thing about that book, and more of us did not like it than anything. So you just roll with the punches. You just keep going.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've been on book discussions where almost everybody did not like it, and we're all kind of ragging on it. And there's a few people and they're like, oh, but I gave it 5 stars. And it's like, sorry, you know, but we still had a discussion. It was still fun.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, like, the longer we go, I think it'll be easier.
Yeah.
For sure. I gave book 2 5 stars and gave book 3 6 stars.
Ooh.
Katie. Yeah. And it not any shade whatsoever to anybody that was telling us this. I'm glad that it was
good for us to know.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it was talked about.
I wouldn't have known about it because I also don't go on Discord too much, but with Keisha and Hannah talking about it, I was like, oh, you know, good to know by chapter 6. And so for some people it wouldn't have been shock either way, but some people it would prepared them.
Yeah. And I want you guys to feel, and I think this was a thing that I also talked about, I want you guys to feel open to share those things, because that's what this is. It's a book club that's open to anybody. Yes. Haven't fully decided. There will never be one book that fits all, so don't feel bad. That's what Keisha said. People not liking the book makes the discussion more interesting. Yes, I agree. Great first pick in discussion. Thank you. That would have never picked it up. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Troy. Skip every thriller y'all read. Totally fine.
She knows that's not for her.
Oh, that's awesome, Grandma Susan. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, we're going to do one last thing, and I wanted to, since y'all are here, I went back and forth on whether I was going to do this or not, but I think I will show you guys September's book. Since y'all are hanging out with us, you get 23
perks of being on the live. You get sneak peeks.
Those of you who are on the live, don't say anything yet to those that aren't. I do want to still make an announcement and make it a big thing, but you guys will just know the secret. So, okay, class. Let me get my presentation together. Hold on, just a minute. Let's get back small. Okay. Are you guys paying attention? Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. September's book pick. Everybody ready? And I told you guys it had something to do with cherries. And some of y'all probably won't even know what this book is because I really didn't until I learned about it. Okay, here we go.
I didn't until
book pick is Cherry Pie or Die.
Woo! I love the cover.
I know, it looks so fun. I like that it's like, it looks retro.
Yes. And all of the books in this Cozy Mystery series all look like this. And this is let me just read you guys a little bit about this. About this book. So basically, this is the first book in a Baker Street mystery series. And it's giving, let me get my thing together. Have either of you two heard about this book before I showed it to you?
I did not.
I had seen the cover before, but I didn't know really anything about it. It's not like one I've seen around a lot.
It's giving me, I feel like it's giving me Scooby-Doo vibes.
Oh, I was thinking like Sherlock Holmes just because it's a Baker Street.
Yeah, I bet that's what it's based around.
But
This
I
is
wasn't
just-
sure.
Does it say anything about Sherlock Holmes in the?
Oh, I can't find it.
Maybe it's just in.
Shoot. I'm sorry, I was not prepared for that. Okay, here we go. So obviously our cozy task and everything will be cherry themed. Okay, here we go. So it is set at a bed and breakfast. The main character is a tour guide, and there are aspects of grief in here. It is a cozy mystery. So here's the reason why I decided to do this one is because the Secret Book and Scone Society wasn't a cozy per se. So I really wanted to go back and do a cozy mystery.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, crossing our fingers that this one is a cozy mystery. And the most important thing about this book is that it is a locked room / clue mystery.
Woohoo! I love those.
Yeah.
That is September's book pick.
I'm pumped. I love all these covers too. I'm looking at all the covers of the other ones. They're so cute.
Yeah.
Jeannie, don't be telling me.
Pancakes. That reminds me of you because of the pancake prints. Like,
so excited.
Those pancake ones that I always make sure I go to.
Yeah. What was the pancake one called?
Slash in the pan.
Oh, cute.
That's hilarious.
Yay! I'm glad you got. Okay. To answer your question about Sherlock Holmes, I don't know. It didn't really say anything about Sherlock Holmes, but I'm sure there'll be some references.
Yeah.
Like if you know his stuff, you could probably pick up on it. It doesn't say in the synopsis or in the reviews I'm looking at on Goodreads, so I don't know.
Huh. I would just think so. A Baker Street mystery.
But it probably is inspired by.
Grandma Susan, I'm glad you said this because I really do try and make the book club picks available to anybody, especially my Kindle lovers out there, because I love my Kindle. So yes, it is on Kindle Unlimited. Yes. And if you're able to get it from the library, absolutely do that too.
Yeah.
Yay!
Mine's not on unfortunately, my Libby.
Really?
No.
I think the audio is on Everend, if I'm not mistaken. I try to also do that too.
Yeah.
Cherry Pie or Die.
I might have to get that one physically.
It's not on my Everend.
Just kidding. It is not on Everend. Oh, and I don't think it's very long either. I think it's kind of a shorter one.
Yeah.
So.
It's on Audible if you have Audible.
Suddenly I want to try to make cherry pancakes. That sounds delicious. I love me good pancakes.
It's on Audible as in no credits, or you have to use a credit?
No, you have to use a credit but I'm just saying it's on there if you have it.
Oh yeah, 252 pages. So it's a shorter one.
That's nice.
So if I am forced to read it with my eyeballs, maybe it won't be so bad.
I can physically read that.
Oh no. And I don't think it's very expensive on Amazon if you have to.
Yeah, that's what's nice about cozies.
Yes.
Is that they're
And it's short, so like you said, like we can read it. I've read plenty of cozies with my eyeballs, so
Yep, same here.
good.
So yes, that wraps up our discussion tonight.
Yeah.
Woo! This was a great first book club meeting, Hannah. Good job.
Yeah.
This was wonderful.
Thank you. And thank you guys for hanging in there with me and helping me out with all sorts of stuff. And again, I don't know if I think I did share this at some point, but Keisha and Yvette were the first people that I ever told, well, besides my husband, about the book club. And I brought in this idea and I was like, hey, I'm starting a book club and I want you guys to kind of be the first co-host. No pressure, but and they were so excited. So I just love these ladies to death. So, and I love each and every one of you that are in the chat. You guys are so sweet and so supportive of each other and me. And I appreciate it so much. All right. So we're going to go ahead and end it for the night. Audible has the book on sale for $10.56. Okay. Cece, I can't reveal all my secrets. I had so much fun. Terrible.
Make like a hand pie. They're easier. A little one.
Hello, Cece, by the way. But again, I can't reveal all the secrets tonight.
Are you the author?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is Cece James. Thank you. Thanks, guys. All right, lovelies. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. Thank you guys, everybody in the chat for joining. And thank you, lovely friends, for being so supportive and being here tonight. I just love you to pieces.
Love you
so much. But
there we go.
Again, we don't have a
I know, it's like this is a circle.
This is the Gen Z hearts. That's what they do, right?
I'm looking really dumb right now. This guy? Is that it?
It looks like two swans.
Yes,
Like
you
that?
know what it means.
Is it that? Yeah.
Yours is a little like. Well, now I
think I'm doing it
Your
wrong.
middle finger.
You gotta like straighten
straight
out your middle finger.
This way, right? No. You got it.
That's hard. Why is it so hard?
I like this better. It's easier.
Yes, we know what this means.
This is
Or
the
do
new
it this
way to do
way.
I feel like this
With-
is this way? Wait,
Oh,
why are my thumbs looking
fancy.
weird?
All right.
I don't like that. I like that. That's pretty.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. But also there's a band and they're called 303 and it's like 303.
And we'll end on Katie's note. I make a mean frozen pie.
Marie
All right.
Callender's very good pies.
We do not have a book for August. Keep up to date on the Instagram, and we will do some fun things in August, but we will not have a book. So, all right, lovelies.
Tuesday night.
What?
Tuesday night?
Movie night on Tuesday.
Oh, yes. See, I'm so glad that you guys are here. I can't do this. Is my management team, if you didn't know. We have movie night on Tuesday, and we're going to start that at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be watching National Treasure.
Yay.
I'm so excited.
Classic.
I'm missing Nicholas.
I love that movie.
And Wendy was rapping on me, and she was saying, well, you picked a movie that you've already seen. And
Right, with all the movies that you haven't.
That's true. You have to see.
But I promise,
the ones.
the next movie will be one that I haven't seen.
Woohoo. You
Because
already
I
know what
read
it's
it
going to be. We're not asking about it, but do you know what it's going to be? Woo!
And I'll say this. It was mentioned tonight.
Oh my goodness, I know what it is.
Oh, I do too. Okay. I was like, my gosh.
That fast. We talked about so many movies.
I think I know
Well,
what it is.
you in the live so I can ask you.
Yeah. I think I know.
Okay, so everybody in the chat, you have to be left in suspense. I'm so sorry.
I'm so excited.
All right, lovelies. I will see you, Keisha and Yvette will see you somewhere else on the internet. Bye, guys.